Hello folks, welcome to Canal Channel Jose. Today we're going to show you two tools that we obtained in the Harbor Freight store, and we're going to test them and see if they actually are worth buying. And these two tools are battery and alternator testers, and these are these two tools. One of them is made by Centec and the other one is by Pittsburgh. These tools range less than $10 a piece. One actually costs about $4 and the other one cost about $7. So we're gonna give you a close look on these two tools so you can get an idea, and we're gonna actually test them and see if they actually do work, and then we're gonna use a multimeter just to test the voltage and see if they're within range. So with that said, let's get started. As you can see, this is a 12-volt system only. It says right here on the package, and then they have numbers with lights. So for the battery, if the battery is showing 5.0 volts, the battery is really poor or is really bad. If it's showing 12.0, it's okay, but it needs to show 12.5 or more to be good, and the lights are gonna tell us what condition of the battery is. So, and also the alternator, it has range from 13.0, which is not charging, 13.5 charging normal. It could be two scenarios for the alternator and one scenario for the battery. So that's for the Pittsburgh. For the Centec, this one has the same settings. It's 12 volts only, for 12 volts direct current, and this is the lights will indicate green for battery if it's a good battery, and green for an alternator. If it's any other color, then something's wrong. So we just plug this in a cigarette, and let's check it out how we do that. So we take him out of the package now. We are gonna be using the Pittsburgh first, and this guy, we are gonna have to connect the black terminal to the black terminals in the battery. In the positive, we're gonna be touching the red on the battery, which is the positive. But before we start checking for the battery, this is when the battery test. If the car was just running, it says in the instructions that you should turn on the headlights for at least 3 minutes, and then once 3 minutes go by, turn off the headlights and then perform the test. This is with the car off. This has to be with the car off to test the battery. So now we do that now. So now 3 minutes went by, our headlights are turned off now. So now what we do is we grab our Pittsburgh tester, we put the black wire to the black terminal on the battery, we connect that, and then the positive goes into the positive battery terminal. So now holding the tester, we are gonna test if the battery is good. If all three lights come on, which are number 1, 2, 3 on the side, if this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if this 1, 2, and 3 light up, this battery is good. So but if only one light bulb lights up, which is the 1, the battery is bad. If the number 1 and 2 light up, is the battery is losing power, as you can see with the drawing. So let's test the battery. As you can see, 1, 2, and 3 lights, which is all the way to the green, turn on. So that means this battery is healthy. So this tester is giving us that the battery is in good shape. For large capacity batteries, the instruction says that the number 4 light, which is an amber, will light up as well. That's just normal, but that will be for large capacity batteries. This is not a large capacity battery, so only the green light, only red, yellow, and green light up. So that's normal. All 3 lights should light up to give us a normal battery. But if, like I said, the first and the second light up, battery is losing power. If number 1, which is the red, light up, battery is bad. So this battery is healthy. So this is the tester for the battery. Now we move on to the alternator. Now we just tested the battery, so now we have to test the alternator and see if the alternator is actually performing. So to do that, we have to turn on the engine, and then we hook up our wires, the black to the battery and the red to the battery as well. This time we're going to be reading the amps coming into the battery. So for that also, it requires that the engine gets revved up to 2000 RPMs. That's the instructions. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to turn on our engine, connect our wire to the terminals, and rev up the engine and see this tester reads that the alternator is performing or not performing as it should. So with that, let's get started. So now we tested it, or alternator, with a tool, and all the lights light up. So that means that the battery was good and the alternator is good, and there's no failure on the charging system. So now we're gonna put the multimeter and get some readings and see how accurate this tool is to the readings on the multimeter. So now, as we can see, our alternator is actually performing 14.42 volts on our battery, on the alternator. So the tool is actually pretty good for the price we're paying to diagnose a simple test. So we wanted to verify with the multimeter if it's actually producing more than 14 volts. So it is. So now we turn off the engine and check the voltage just on the battery. This is the alternator right now. So we just turned off the engine. We still got connected our tester, and what we see is the voltage is dropping, but it's dropping normal settings. So we just wanted to test the simplicity of that tool that we bought from Harbor Freight, that is actually performing. So we wanted to get some readings and see if it is true. So it is actually working. This is just to verify the voltage for ourselves, because the other tool was just giving us light. So now we just tested the one that we have to connect to the battery. This one, this other tool from Centec, we actually connected to the cigarette lighter, and we are gonna read power through the cigarette lighter. So this tool, what it's gonna be doing is the same exact job, but all it is that you don't even have to open the hood. You just plug it into the cigarette lighter and you do the same test just like before. For this one, for the battery, you just gotta open the key, open the switch, so you can send power to it to test the battery. Same testing, but different procedures. So with that, let's plug it into the cigarette lighter and test and see if it works. This tool cost about $6. The other one cost about $4. So they're pretty close on price. We grab our other tool and then we plug it into the cigarette lighter. And then what we do is we open the switch to send power to the cigarette lighter, so this tool can actually read the voltage. And if this tool is gonna tell us if the voltage is right. This has to be done 30 minutes after the last drive that you did. So you gotta make sure that you have been parked for 30 minutes before you plug in this tool, so it reads actually more accurate. So with that said, let's open the switch now. We got it plugged in. So now, as we can see, we got even the green light turned on for this battery test. So the battery is about 12.4 volts, and if it was below 12.4, the yellow light will only be on. So that means the battery will be low on power. But right now it's 12.4 to 12.6. So the green light is on. So now that we tested the battery with the engine off, we just open the switch and then we send power to the cigarette lighter. Now what we can do is we turn the engine on and we see the other side for the alternator, and only the yellow and the green light have to turn on for the alternator to be working properly. If the red light turns on, that means it's overcharging. If only the yellow light turns on, that means it's undercharging. So undercharging is the performance of the alternator, and overcharging is the voltage regulator not working properly. We need the yellow and the green light only on the alternator side. So now we tested the battery and the battery was good, and now we're testing the alternator, and the yellow and green light are on. So the green light is telling us that the voltage is between 13.4 and 14.75 volts. So if it was above 14.75, it will be overcharging, so the red light will come on. and if it was below 13.4, it will be undercharging and it will be too low, and only the amber light will come on. But right now we need the amber and green light to be on, so that means that the alternator is performing right. So we actually we recommend this tool because it's pretty simple to diagnose the battery in an alternator with these tools. And well, folks, this was the test on if we would buy these tools or not, and we actually recommend both tools because both of them do a basic testing on the charging system. For the money you're paying, you're actually gonna save on a headache. So both tools, the Centec, you just connect it into the cigarette lighter and it does everything for you. So this one, you actually connect it to the cigarette lighter, and the first test you do is you open the key, send power to the cigarette lighter, and then you test the battery. You gotta do it 30 minutes after you park. So you park your car, wait 30 minutes, and then you do the test for the battery. And then for the alternator, you turn on the key while this thing is plugged in, and then you turn it on, and then you would get a reading or light up in this tool for the alternator. So you do the battery first and then the alternator. On the other one is the same thing, but it's just that you gotta do more effort into it because you gotta open the hood, connect the wires, and do a little bit more. So for the Centec, is actually we prefer the Centec because you just plug it into the cigarette lighter. The other tool, what it does is that we forgot to mention one thing on the video, is that you have a magnetic strip on the back that you can hang this tool in a metal surface so it holds itself. Both tools do the job, but we recommend both tools for what we paid for. The $3-4 and a $6, you can't beat that for what the job that they do. So we recommend both, but the one that actually you want to do is maybe the Centec, because this one you can just plug it into the cigarette lighter and will give you readings without even popping the hood. So this is a better deal. We're gonna leave the links below so you can check it out on their website, on the Harbor Freight, and you can see the full description on their performance of these tools. So for those folks who are watching our video, haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. If you like our video, give us thumbs up, share it, and we'll see you soon with more videos here in el canal El Chano Jose.